Hello and welcome! Today we still have the 200% first wins of the day experience, which means that I'm going to try to go for maximum amounts of economy flags, especially XP flags. So first we're gonna find the 400% XP per battle camo. Next up we're gonna go for every single XP camo there is. Well, I guess we can't equip all of them, but we'll equip as many as we can. Well, actually I already know exactly which ones I'm going to equip. First I'm gonna equip all the ones that give base XP, and then I'm gonna equip the ones that give free XP. Which is exactly what we did. And as a community contributor I also get the 5% XP flag here. Unfortunately on EU we don't have any other XP flags as far as I know. I think there's also one for super testers, and I believe alpha testers might also have got one. CBT does not give one. I know that on NA there are more flags that give XP, but here we don't seem to have any other ones. Okay, so we have everything equipped. This does make our ship somewhat weaker because we don't have the flag to make our heals better, we don't have a speed flag, we don't have fire reduction flag, we don't have an anti-detonation flag, for example. However, I think it's worth it. So, unfortunately we got into a CV match. It's good that the match is tier 10 because doing damage to tier 10 ships tends to give more XP. However, the downside of a CV match is that you might just get focus fired and then your game goes poorly. Because the Thundera has a lot of range, I'm going to just more or less stop somewhere around here. I'm gonna just sail slowly forwards, or backwards I guess, and be in a position to engage if we spot anything. Because there will be other ships that, well, there they are. The Puerto Rico is probably gonna be in range soon, since she is obviously sailing closer. A few hundred meters to go. Come on, PR, please. Okay, she's turning in actually, which makes the shot kind of interesting, but I don't really hold out too much hope for this shot dealing a lot of damage, but the main thing is we just want to get some damage in. Jesus, look at this dispersion. This is massive. No surprise that none of them hit. So the reason I wanted to sail very slowly is because I think my current position is okay. It's not the greatest in terms of like overall match, but it's a pretty good position. If I were to sail that way, I think I would actually end up being in a worse position. And going forwards is probably also not going to be great, because we don't know if the enemy here would have more or fewer ships than we do. And I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. Well, wait, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So technically we're gonna be behind. And the CV can also, change things. Because if the enemy CV comes over here, whereas we don't, it ends up going poorly for us. Another thing is that I do have the range advantage over many of these ships, so we can actually just take advantage of this. I mean, we've done 17,000 damage so far, with no damage taken in return. I suppose our Hindenburg is kinda tanky, but I honestly think the Hindenburg's kinda playing this poorly. Considering, the fact that she actually went out, further away from the island, which is a bad idea generally. You really don't want to be squished between an island and the enemy team, because you don't have the ability to turn away and sail away. Besides, I think we're winning quite hard on the A-cap. So it makes a lot of sense to play in a defensive manner on this side of the map. Wow! That Republique keeps taking so much damage. She also just used her Damicon. So I guess we won't be able to take another shot on her, because she doesn't seem to be... she seems to be reversing, so she's gonna be out of range, but still. That guy has taken a lot of damage, and has used her Damicons. Ooh, and Kofast took a nice salvo as well. Can we take a shot on this Haruguma? No, the island is going to be in the way. We do need to start sailing away though, because it's very unlikely that we're going to be able to hold this side of the map. I'm not going to Damicon this flare. I think it doesn't make sense at this point, because I will probably be just set on fire again. And would be kind of a waste, huh? So, where's our our second destroyer is the Shimakaze at A. I guess that's good, because that means we're going to be able to take the A cap soon, and I think what we need to do in this match is wait for those guys to link up with the ships that are over here. It would be better if those guys would be more towards the center of the map, or I guess more where the Ohio is, because in that case they can actually, you know, support us. Oh, Shimakaze being low is very, very bad. I guess I kind of forgot that there were CVs in this match. That's pretty bad. In fact, that makes me wonder, why isn't our CV taking care of the enemy destroyers? In fact, I haven't seen our CV in a long while. Oh, never mind. Just right there. Because when I usually want to find the CV, I just look on the minimap instead of actually in the game. Because it tends to be easier. But the little white line, the wake of the ship, is exactly where the planes would be. I guess HE bombers aren't the best. Oh my god, I just got Citadel. Damn. HE bombers aren't the best to deal with destroyers. And Gearing is kind of hard to deal with as a CV, because she gets such long smoke screens. Guess now might actually be a decent time to use the heal. I guess I can take advantage of Adrenaline Rush a little bit, but still, probably a better idea to just use it. I think the main issue we have to contend with in this match is the fact that, well, unfortunately the Z-52 is in a pretty poor position to do much. Because even if she went in, you know, first of all, Puerto Rico absolutely wards her off because of her radar, and then there's also the fact that they have a Haruguma, a Gearing, and, well, it's a CV match on top of all of that. Meaning that it's quite dangerous for the Z-52 to try to do anything in the cap, especially since the enemy has the ship's advantage on the side of the map. So what the Z-52 is doing, I think, makes a lot of sense. It's just unfortunate for us. Okay, they've taken care of the ships at the A side, so I hope that they're going to be able to now deal with the A cap and actually take it. Okay, we've also taken care of the Puerto Rico. Now, the upside of all of this is, despite the fact that they have all of the capstones and whatnot, we definitely hold the ship's advantage. Which means that in the long term, we're probably going to win this match. Because, you know, you can have all the points in the world. Well, not all of them, but you can have a lot of your points. Wow! 13,000 with... wow. You can have a lot of your points, but if you don't actually have ships to defend your cap points, it's not gonna really help you too much. I mean, it'll help you, but it's not going to save your game. The worry here is that the Gearing might have torpedoed, but I have a Hindenburg that would spot things from... wow! That guy just got deleted, the Gearing. The worry here is that Gearing might have torpedoed, but the Hindenburg would have spotted the torps from further away, which would have given me extra time to react. So right now, I actually honestly would like to stay about in this position I am at right now. Because clearly the Republic is probably going to push through that, and I think the Minotaur also wants to be somewhere around here. Which means that this would be essentially a very good spot to try to catch the enemy. I think now is a good time for the Z-52 to go for the C-cap, and I mean, she is, except we still need to deal with the Haruguma. I guess, wow, I didn't think of this, the part that you can actually hit the Haruguma from here. That's actually quite nice. I mean, it's still gonna be difficult because you're hitting a destroyer from very far away, but I mean, it's somewhat possible, right? Because she's gonna try to stay behind that island there. Ah, damn, she's actually gonna dodge. Damn, island. If I had been slightly in that direction, like over there, I probably could have hit her. Caufest is coming in. I wonder if she has legendary. Probably not, huh? But even then, I should still have more range than she does. Okay. For broadside on, that's bad. Luckily nobody's targeting me because we have a Hindenburg that's still tanking for us. Jesus Christ. I guess that guy's homegrown hero name is appropriate, huh? He is pretty much being the hero. A bit foolish, but I mean, that definitely helps the team. So far at least, because if he had died, obviously that would have been bad, but since he manages to somehow tank so much and not die, that's very, very good for us. Ooh, the GK is actually turning in. Well, I mean, it's not good for the Hindenburg. I don't see how he's gonna survive this. However, it's very good for the team, because that basically guarantees the Grossa Kaufest is going to go down for the enemy, because she won't have the ability to just run away. But I think the priority here has to be the Republic, which I guess the RGK already took care of. Next up is the other GK then. And I don't think there's a chance of us losing this match anymore, because another 10k by the way on that battleship, because we just have so many more ships, and if I was low HP, you know, I might still have like thoughts about, oh, maybe we can lose, you know, maybe the enemy just ends up overwhelming our teammates and then takes them out one by one or something. But considering I have full HP, I have enough faith in myself that I don't think we are likely to lose this. I mean, I guess I could still get detonated, huh? Because I don't have an anti-detonation flag, but I think it'll be fine. Oh, we're gonna get the Haruguma kill? We are. Excellent. Well, now they definitely don't have any chance. Like, even if they get the luckiest RNG in the world, they detonate everyone with every single salvo, I don't think it still would be enough. Because I think they would still end up losing the fight because they only have 3 ships. I wish that Thunderer didn't play like I do, because, I mean, he's staying far away just like I did. And the reason I don't like it is because I can't shoot him right now. If he wasn't playing in a passive way as I have, well, I could take shots and get more XP. I mean, even with my passive play, I've got 159k damage. And keep in mind that if this game had gone in a more poor way for us, that is worse, well, I would have got even more damage. I probably would have actually pretty easily broken 200k if the enemy had just been, well, somewhat better, or our team somewhat worse. Doesn't matter. There's really no chance of us losing this. Now, fires are deceptively weak, but also deceptively strong against CVs. You see, they're weak because, well, fires only last 10 seconds. But they're deceptively strong because fires deal, I think, 0.5% HP per second. Meaning that one fire does like 5% of the HP, but it only lasts for like 5 seconds, which means that the damage ends up going there quite rapidly. And that ends up being quite useful when you're trying to sink a CV with HE. Oh god. On the other hand, CVs are deceptively fast. That is, they seem to be sailing a lot slower than they actually are. I guess it's because the ship is so big compared to what other ships are, but she still moves at the speeds that much smaller ships do. Especially because CVs sit very high in the water, so, you know, that is even more deceptive. Because it makes them even look bigger than many battleships. Yeah, we'll take a shot on the Thunderer. Because she is just so much closer. They don't seem to be very good at aiming at CVs. Well, I guess I don't deal any damage to the Thunder either, huh? But she is gone, so it's only the CV left. Well, actually, I guess she is healing now. So perhaps the Thunder isn't quite as dead as I had thought, but she is now. And I did no damage again. Anyway, the CV is going full steam. So I guess it'll have to be something like this, right? Line... Oh no, she's turning. Is she slowing down? Because it really feels like she is slowing down. The good thing about the Nadicius is that they don't have an armored deck everywhere. It's only in the middle, unlike essentially the other tier 10 CVs, whose armored deck is from bow to stern, more or less. Let's hope the salvo is enough. It's looking good though. It's looking very good. Well, I sank the two classes that are most important to sink, a destroyer and the CV. I mean, I'm not one of those damage farmers that just farm damage on battleships or cruisers, right? I sink the correct ships, the CVs and the destroyers, which is why I'm rewarded with 37,800 ship XP and 30,751 free XP. A nice 65k, well, 65.5k XP per game. I mean, how much XP do you need to go from like tier 9 to tier 10? It's like 220k, right? So 3.5 games and we're done. Look how quick that would be. Dang it, I'm outdone by an Ohio, but I do think that the Ohio was very integral on winning this match, considering he pushed on the other side and was important there. The enemy Thunder actually, I think he would have got more XP than I would if they had won. Yeah, definitely more XP than I have, 2300. So well played, but I blame it on my flags, okay? My ship wasn't quite at full combat effectiveness. Man, these kinds of things just sometimes make me feel bad. 94,000 damage of this GK was done by me. 94,000 damage. That's almost all of her HP. I suppose if you add heals to the mix, maybe it's not quite that, but still, that's such a significant amount of damage that sometimes I do feel bad. Look, this is why you fire HE. 53 shells for 105k damage, 11 shells for 4k damage. Clearly, the HE is better. In fact, the HE had 1/3 hit rate, whereas AP was less than 1/4. So, even betterer. Yeah, overall, this was a pretty nice game, especially considering we did use all the economy flags, and this did give us a huge amount of XP. 55.3k Commander XP makes sense, because we didn't really emphasize on the Commander XP part, even though Commander XP is probably the one I like the most, but free XP tends to be quite useful, especially since I don't have the Ohio, and I would really like to get the Ohio. So I do need to reset the lines, and that's easiest done when you have a lot of free XP. So for those of you who are interested in my commander skills and upgrades, standard Thunderer stuff, actually I had a video recently of the Thunderer, right? So it's basically the same thing. Obviously you go for reload because you don't need the range, you go for concealment. If you play a Conqueror instead of concealment, you take the legendary. If you don't have the legendary, you go concealment again. Thunderer basically has Conqueror's legendary built in. Then you go damage control, because you don't want shorter fires. On Conqueror, you might actually go for steering gears. I mean, that's kind of your choice, because Conqueror does have a super heal, Thunderer doesn't. But so, Thunderer takes that. Then aiming systems, I guess you could go anti-air, but I think aiming systems is better. Then damage control, and main armaments modification 1. Captain skills, it's a standard battleship survivability build, so priority target, expert marksman, superintendent, concealment expert, fire prevention, basics of survivability, and then adrenaline rush. One thing to keep in mind is that if you do have a special captain that gets the stronger expert marksman, I recommend using that on these battleships because battleships go from 0.7 degrees per second on the boost to 1 degree per second, so it's essentially almost 50% better. It's like 45, which is a much bigger difference than going from 2.5 degrees per second to 3 degrees per second on other types of ships. So I wanted to do the same thing in the Kitakuzen. I looted up all the economy flags, I went into a match, and in this match I ended up on the side with another allied destroyer, a Fletcher, against one Venom. However, the Venom had support from their CV, and when you combine smoke screens with air spotting, it gets ugly really quickly. So I told my CV in frustration that he should stop AFKing. He didn't like that very much, so he told me that I'm not going to give you any more air support. To which I responded, well, you haven't given us any air support, so I don't know what you're talking about. And I guess we kind of left it at that disagreement at that, because no more words were really exchanged. So, sometime later, the enemy CV is flying over me with torpedo bombers, trying to attack me, presumably. And, well, I can see that my allied CV is flying towards me, because, well, obviously, winning the game is more important than some minor disagreements. So he's going to give me a fighter screen. Or is he? I guess that didn't work out so well, huh? So yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, One-Eyed Potato. And I hope I'll see you guys next time.